This one drink produces so much heat. This one is really nice. This one right here is the first one that I had running, and see how much like it's trying to just drink up all of the fuel. So I'm just showing you guys how that works. This also, it acts as a heat barrier. You see I'm touching it right here. This is metal.
Surplus DIY is about to come on.
On this channel, you will see a lot of how-to projects. And today, I'm going to be making a copper candle. I have a very good reason why. There's something I've been putting off for 2 summers. And I'm about to show you why having this type of knowledge can matter. See this water spigot? Now it's been below 0 for the past few days, and when temperatures drop, small problems can turn serious very quickly. This is where emergency thinking comes in, because in my case, I can't easily access the main shutoff valve for the water right now. Let's say the electricity goes out, or the furnace goes out, or even worse, you have a blackout with extreme cold. Now, if you can maintain a small amount of ambient warmth in your basement, that can help to reduce the risk of freezing pipes until normal options are available again. So that's what this video is about. This is why this matters, and I'm going to show you how to build a no electricity heat source. This is not for everyday use and should only be used in situations where you don't have many choices. This is a copper candle, and for educational purposes on this video, I'm going to show you how to make one. But it should only be used during emergency situations. Let's say you have a furnace that goes out, your electricity goes out. Let's say the neighborhood has a blackout. This candle will keep you warm in a blackout situation. So let's put it together. Now for your fuel source, if you want it to burn as clean as possible, use denatured alcohol. But if you don't have that, you can literally still use rubbing alcohol, but the higher the percentage, the cleaner the burn. You're still gonna need to keep this in a well ventilated area, because no matter what type of alcohol fuel you're using, they produce vapors, and literally a lot of people's houses are pretty airtight. You know, they don't like drafts or anything like that. So in an emergency situation, you go lighten this up, keep it in the area. You're gonna just want to make sure that that area is well ventilated. Now, while this is burning, you're gonna want to assume this flame is present even if you cannot see it. Some clean burning flames are nearly invisible in the daylight, and you'll see that literally this flame is nearly invisible when it gets going. So you're going to treat the area as hot, like it's hot all the time. So obviously this video was for demonstration purposes, but anytime you're going to use any type of fire material or anything that burns, you're going to want to use it on a stable, safe surface, non-flammable surfaces, and keep it away from paper or fabric, anything that could possibly burn. Listen, even small heat sources can become dangerous if they're ignored, so you don't want to leave something like this unattended. keep your fuel sealed and away from heat, and then you want to store it separately, and you're gonna never want to, if you need to add your fuel or anything, never add it near an active or a hot flame, and then you should be good to go. Okay, we're gonna be working with an outer 3/4 inch pipe and an inner 1/2 inch pipe. We're going to need a glass jar with a lid. In this case, I'm using a mason jar, but you can easily just grab a pasta jar or any type of jar with a lid on it. To determine how you're going to make your cut, it's super easy because every jar is going to be a different size. All you're going to do is stick the 3/4 copper tube in the jar first, and then just measure 2 inches from the top. Then it's easy to cut the 1/2 inch one or mark the 1/2 inch one, because if you can see by the picture, all you're going to do is just measure it up and just mark it right there. Super easy. I'm cutting the 1/2 inch pipe 2 inches above the 3/4 inch pipe. Now, it would have been super easy for me to get the right size pipe cutting tool, but I didn't do that, so I got to cut it like this. Now for the 1/2 inch pipe, I actually did get a pipe cutter. I'm actually using it here, and it actually makes a really clean cut. See that gray square underneath my hands? That's carbon felt. I'm going to cut that down, stretch it out, and use it as a wick. Here you can see I had to cut a hole through the top of the mason jar, and I fit the 3/4 pipe through. I'm cutting holes so the fuel can have a way better chance of reaching its way to the top. For this pipe, we're only drilling holes on one side, and you can see how they go all the way to the top of the lid of the can. That's going to be sealed all the way with JB Weld. Now you can see this 1/2 inch pipe is sticking out approximately 2 inches, and it's going to have 2 holes drilled in the top of that all the way through on both sides. This is carbon felt. You can order it on eBay, Amazon, but you're going to actually need this in order for your candle to burn for a very, very long time. You will never need to replace this wick. You will only need to refuel this candle. This carbon felt is the secret sauce probably to this whole project, because without it, we couldn't light our flame. It wouldn't last almost forever. That's why they call it a forever copper candle. And we just couldn't do this project. But I'm going to show you an easier way to feed all of this through, because I had the hardest time doing all of this. This is crazy. So by the end of the video, you'll see a super easy way to feed this through. See how the felt is actually not wrapped completely around the inner 1/2 inch pipe? That's actually not correct. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you an easy, correct way to do it. This stuff is so thick that I'm actually rolling it out in order to thin it out to create space. But stick around to the end because I figured it out. Okay, and then I also messed up here too. You don't want to get the regular JB Weld, you want to get JB Quick Weld. The JB Weld will take 15 hours in order to cure. The JB Quick Weld takes 6 minutes. So I'm going to put a link in the description so you can get JB Quick Weld instead. Now the important thing with the JB Weld is just mix it up thoroughly, and you're just going to seal the top and bottom of the mason jar lid or whatever lid you're using with the copper pipe. Just going to seal whatever holes. You don't want any type of air to go through. You just want to make that completely sealed. Okay, like I said, it's going to take 15 hours just to weld this if you use this type of JB Weld, but they have a JB Quick Weld. I'm going to leave a link in the description for that. Get the JB Quick Weld instead, because this took 15 hours, but through the magic of television, it's done right now. So we're going to get started. Basically, I'm going to just go through the steps on putting this together right away. So you see that we have the 2 holes drilled in the top of here, and we have our holes drilled so that the fuel can suck all the way up from the bottom. Then, really important is this felt. Now what I did is I'm just separating it like this. I'm going to take this, see how it goes all the way from the bottom to the top. And I'm going to just cheat a little bit, stick that in here. And it's funny because they say with a couple more percentage of brain, a chimpanzee, what is it, an ape or a chimpanzee will be just as smart as a human. So I was watching this nature show, and basically I learned this from a chimpanzee. So I'm gonna just stick this in here. Now watch, because usually, oh my God, I had the toughest time trying to feed this felt through here, but watch this. See how that wraps all the way around? Just wrap it all the way around. It's crazy. It works too. Like, anybody watch the A-Team? When they say, I love it how a plan comes together, this is the same thing. And all I'm going to do is just take this, cut it evenly at the bottom. Yep. And it's okay to leave a little bit of felt sticking out at the bottom, but that's gonna do its job. And then we just get this really tight around here at the top. Alright, so that's basically how you put the felt around. If you got a scissors or whatever, all I'm doing is just cutting around the top of this, and then basically showing you that this felt wraps all the way around, and then the easy way to get it done. So you just kind of do it like that. Air holes are through here, a little bit sticking out there. Okay, we got one. All right, so same thing. We use a JB weld on the top and the bottom for this one, but this one I wanted to show you that you could literally use a taller pipe, and then this one is going to be, because I'm going to actually light this one, so you guys are going to want to see what happens with this one. Or this one is interchangeable basically, and I didn't take this off there, whatever. That was interchangeable. And then you see how that's rough right there. Just going to take a little bit of sandpaper, and this is copper. This is copper, so that comes right off. That, and the other side too. Then take that. You just don't want to be grabbing it. You don't want to be grabbing it and then cut your hand on some copper. So see here, that's real smooth. Okay, so now I'm just going to do other side. Not really necessary. I'm going to do this longer piece. But there, edge is at the top. And I think this is that's the edge that I cut here. I left this piece really long simply because I want to show you how easy it is to just use one of these. Now, this is a 1/2 inch, and then this is the other larger piece is a 3/4 inch pipe. Now, I made a mistake and didn't get a big enough one that I needed to cut this pipe, so I had to actually cut it with a different type of cutting tool. This one right here fits perfectly around there, and then I'll just go ahead and demonstrate how that works while I'm putting this together. So you want to take your jar. Obviously you have the holes that you've already pre-cut here. Then just to test it, you want to see the height before you even drill these holes, and then you basically just take a marker and then mark where you want those holes, right? So then after that, we're going to take the felt. I already have split this one open. And you want to get that through. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this pipe here. And that's what I wanted to just show you how easy it is. So somewhere right around here, I'm going to cut the pipe. So we're just going to twist just to tighten a little bit, and then just score the edge. And then we're going to keep tightening a little bit and then keep scoring. Okay, and that seems to be working really good. Okay, and maybe one more turn, maybe 2 more turns, who knows? All right, and that's it. Both these pieces off, and then same thing with the sandpaper. So literally like I showed you, either one of these are interchangeable. You just have to make sure the felt gets put in there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is use the felt for the larger one. And show you guys how to put that together, or how everything looks afterwards. Okay, remember where I got this from. It's a pain in the butt to do it before, but now, thanks to my pals, well, you know what I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, stretch that a little bit. See how that's pretty much all the way around. Then we're gonna take this, realize which way it goes. See the holes at the top there, and then we're just gonna feed it through. Look at that, like butter, baby. And then back it out. Wow. Use this like this. Please, safety precautions. This is not meant for everyday use. This is not meant for everyday use. This is for emergency purposes only. You saw how the water pipe looked outside. Like, yes. And then it is, this burner right here is helping out tremendously. But it is super cold other than that in here. So I'm glad I'm even doing this. Yeah, so in the case of an emergency, you guys know how to put something together for emergency purposes. This is something that's good to know. Like, if you don't know about it and it could save your life, you know, versus what would you want to know about something or not know about it? So I'm just saying, I'm just showing you how to do something. And the adults, I need you to be 100% responsible with this, because even though I'm showing you like exactly what to do, what to use, kids are not responsible because they're kids, but adults, I mean, come on. This is only for emergency purposes. A blackout, which is extreme, but you will have it. Your power goes out, that happens to a lot of people. Or the furnace goes out, that happens to even more people. So this right here will save you in the event of an emergency. That's all I'm saying, and that's what this video is for. So let's get back started. See how these holes go all the way up to the top, because that's going to aid in the whatever fuel you're using to kind of push that up and then help this to feed it. All right, so really quickly, just cut this, and you see the length of how I'm cutting it. This one's gonna do the same thing. Oh, pulled that a little bit out. Okay, hang on 1 second, just make sure it's right. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it tries to bunch up. That's why this monkey ape solution was pretty much a good way to do it. You can see, but we're gonna see. Yeah, it's hard to do. See that? That's why that other method works. and it's fast. You'll be sitting here all day trying to do this, like this. God dog it. Okay. See? The whole point is knowing when you are doing something wrong so you can get it right. And knowing that if you don't know something, you can know where to look it up to find out how to do it so you can do it right. Simple as that. Okay, let me cut the end. And I'm forgetting how cold it is outside because just this one candle here. I mean, I am kind of close to it, but yeah, it let me forget how cold it is outside. So that's a good sign. I'm just trying to get this one to the, yeah, that's perfect. That's feeding that, bam. That's how how you want that to look. Sorry it took so long, but this is important. See how that's wrapped all the way around, and we're just gonna wrap that, and then we're just gonna cut it. And you can use the scissors. Show you if you want to use the scissors. You can use the scissors. Let's see, where's my scissors at? Right here. Okay. Simple as this. We're gonna cut it right. These scissors are pretty sharp. Okay, I'm gonna cut this a little bit down. Right around here. Simple as that. Okay, now, see how that wraps all the way around? Get it like that. And then that's that. You're good. See that? That's good too. There. This is good. This one's a little higher. And we got these done. Alright, so now, simply because this JB weld took so long to cure around here, 15 hours, I had a chance to make a couple more. We got one right there. We got one right here. This is the one we just did here. This is the taller one here. This is denatured alcohol. It basically burns very pure. When it gets to going really well, the flame is almost invisible. You can also use rubbing alcohol. The higher the percentage of alcohol, the purer the flame is, but safety is first, okay? Because even though you're burning a very pure fuel, there's still the chance of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, however you want to say it. So you're going to need to use this in a well-ventilated area. And it's basically used to generate heat. So let's get these two filled. Alright, now and I'll show you guys how to light this in just a second. How they light. Okay, that's one. Do the other one right here. And like I said, safety is very important when adults are handling any type of fuel source. Okay, and then now we are good to go. How about that? Okay, now let me show you how these light. And it's okay to prime them first because otherwise these are very hard to light. But once they get started, once they get going, they will last for hours. And you can see how this flame here, they're not even going yet. This one's just getting started. Yep, this one is generating a considerable amount of heat. And like I said, well, I don't know if I said this earlier, but one of these will literally get your room or house to a good, comfortable 50, 60 degrees. Like I said, this is for educational purposes. It's good to have knowledge on how to do stuff, but safety is first. And if you are a responsible adult and want to make one of these, this video shows you exactly how to do it. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to show you. So one of the reasons for the carbon fiber is it acts as a heat barrier. So I can literally, let me move this out the way. I can literally touch this right here. This has been burning for a while and it's not hot. So this also, it acts as a heat barrier. You see I'm touching it right here. This is metal. You know what I mean? So I'm showing you that it conducts heat, yes. I can feel that it's warm, but it is not hot. And that's very important, okay? That's it. On my channel, we show a lot of how-to projects. Hope you learned something. I'm just gonna empty out all this fuel and everything, make everything safe. But stay tuned for more DIY projects next time.